Welcome to the next set of lectures. Lecture number 38 to 40, we are going to discuss the symmetrical fault analysis. So let us quickly look into the contents. So lecture number 38, we are going to discuss the introduction of power system faults and what are the methods to analyze the power system faults. Lecture number 39, we will discuss the transients due to short circuit conditions in transmission line and alternators. And lecture number 40, we are going to discuss the analysis of symmetrical faults in power system and the selection of circuit breakers. So let us start the lecture number 38 first. So introduction to power system faults. So let us quickly look what are the power system faults and how do we define them. So a fault is basically a failure which interferes with the normal flow of current. So when the system is healthy, there will be a normal flow of current, and if there is a fault, then there will be interference with the flow of current. Fault occur in power system due to the reason insulation failure of the equipments, flashover of lines initiated by the lightning phenomena, permanent damage of conductors and towers, accidentally faulty operation. So these reasons are for occurrence of fault in power system. Most faults on transmission line of 115 kV and higher are caused by lightning. So we see that in the case of lightning, there are some broken conductors or there is some discharge through the earth which result in flashover of insulators causing a low impedance path to ground. So most of the fault that occurs in transmission line is due to the phenomena of lightning. Faults may be broadly classified into shunt faults. Shunt faults are basically the short circuit faults. So these can occur between conductor and ground or between two or more conductors. So when ground is involved, then it is known as line for conductor and ground for ground. And if you have two or more conductors, then we can have two conductors double line to ground. Okay, if we have all the conductors triple line and ground, then we have line to line triple line, that is the three phase to ground faults. Series faults are basically the open conductor faults. So open conductor can be one or two broken conductors. Either one of the phases may be open or the two phase may be broken. Circuit controlled by fuses or breakers which do not open all the three phases. So generally certain circuits are there which are controlled by fuses or circuit breakers. In a condition when one of the phase do not open out of the three phase, then it is said to be series fault. Now these two categories are the broad classification of the faults: shunt faults and series faults. Shunt faults always will be short circuit condition and series fault will be open circuit condition. Now shunt fault are classified as line to ground fault, line to line fault, double line to ground fault and three phase faults. These are the classification of shunt faults. So if you have one line to ground or double line fault only, then if you have double line to ground fault and you have three phase fault. So these four classification of faults comes under shunt faults. Shunt faults are basically characterized by increase in current and fall in voltage and frequency. Since shunt faults are basically the short circuit conditions, so in the short circuit conditions you will always have increase in current and fall in voltage and frequency. Series faults on the other hand, since it is an open circuit condition, so it will be characterized by increase in voltage and frequency and fall in current in the faulty phase alone. Only three-phase fault is symmetrical fault and all other faults are unsymmetrical fault. So if we classify the fault in terms of symmetrical and unsymmetrical, then only three-phase faults that you have is a symmetrical fault and other all type of faults are unsymmetrical because either one line or two lines are involved for the three-phase faults. So both symmetrical faults and unsymmetrical faults will be dealt separately. Line to line faults not involving ground are less common. So always when we see that only two line involvement without involving the ground are less common. Experience show that 70 to 80% of the transmission line failures are single line to ground failures. So most of the fault, about 70 to 80% of the fault are because of single line to ground failures. Permanent faults which can't be rectified are caused by lines being on the ground, insulator string breaking, ice loading or equipment failure. So these type of faults can't be rectified, so they are known as permanent fault. Roughly 5% of all fault involving all the three phases, and these are called symmetrical three-phase fault or just symmetrical fault. So whenever you will be involving all the three phases, then it is known as symmetrical fault, and they are roughly around 5% of all the faults. So if we group the fault in terms of the percentage and understand how much percentage each type of fault can occur, so three-phase fault will be around 5%, double line to ground fault will be 10%, double line faults, line to line fault involved is 15%, and maximum fault condition is line to ground fault, which is around 70 to 80%. So these are basically the classification of the fault and the criteria of occurring of the fault. Then how do we analyze the power system fault? So as I said that fault can be classified into symmetrical and unsymmetrical. So whenever you have a symmetrical fault, it will be analyzed on per phase basis because the system is symmetrical. So you can analyze the system on per phase basis using the Thevenin's theorem or bus impedance matrix. So we have already covered the bus impedance matrix, Z bus, how to determine the Z bus, and that will be used here to calculate the symmetrical fault. However, if you have unsymmetrical fault, then that will be analyzed using symmetrical components. So symmetrical components we have covered. So it can be positive sequence component, negative sequence and zero sequence component. So that will be used symmetrical components to analyze the unsymmetrical fault. So in this particular chapter, we are focusing on symmetrical fault, and the next chapter will focus on unsymmetrical fault. Now let us see the fault calculations. So when fault occur in a part of a power system, then heavy current will flow in that part of the circuit which may cause permanent damage to the equipment. So due to occurrence of the fault, heavy current flows and it causes permanent damage of the equipment. Faulty part should be isolated from the healthy part immediately on the occurrence of the fault. So if we consider a transmission line with all the equipments connected, and suddenly if you have a fault here, then we have to isolate the part of the fault from the rest part of the system. This can be achieved by protective relays and circuit. So generally we are connected with relays and circuit breakers. So in any power system network, we are connected with protective relays and circuit breaker. So what do the protective relays do? Protective relays sense the fault condition and send signal to the circuit breaker to open the circuit. So basically relays are sensing device which are sensing the fault condition and sending the signal to the circuit breaker to open the circuit. The current which flows in a power system immediately after the occurrence of a fault differ from those flowing few cycles later. So as soon as the fault occurs, the level of the current is quite high, and that is the fault current, and after few cycles later you will see that current dies out just before the circuit breakers are open to open the line on both sides of the fault. So as I said that in a transmission line, in a power system network, if a fault occur, then it has to be isolated from the healthy part of the system, and this is being done with the help of relays and circuit breakers. So relays send the signal to the circuit breaker to open both sides of the fault, and during the fault heavy current will flow. So two factors we determine the proper selection of circuit breaker. So circuit breaker has to be very proper, and two factors are there of its selection, and the current flowing immediately after the fault occurs and the current which the breaker must interrupt. So two condition is what is the current is flowing immediately after the fault. So as soon as the fault occur, what is the amount of the current it is flowing, and the current which breaker must interrupt. So what is the rating of the breaker. So if fault analysis values of this current are calculated for different type of fault and different locations in the system. So generally we do fault analysis. Why do we fault analysis? in order to calculate what are the types of the fault that can occur at different locations in the system and what will be the current in those type of fault. The information obtained from these calculations are used to determine the relay setting that control the circuit breaker. So when we do the fault analysis, we we get the information, and based on that we do the relay setting and which is controlling the circuit breaker. So selection of a circuit breaker depends upon the normal operating current. So this current, the relay should not object. So normal operating current has to flow. The current it has to interrupt, and the maximum current it may have to momentarily carry. So generally, these are the selection criteria of a circuit breaker. The circuit breaker has to understand what is the normal operating current, what is the current it has to interrupt, and the maximum current that is momentarily carry. So momentarily it should not object to this current. Now, generally the short circuit occur in power system due to various reasons. So it can be equipment failure, lightning strikes, failure of branches or trees on the transmission line, switching surges due to presence of the capacitor, insulation failures, other electrical or mechanical causes. So all these are collectively called faults in the power system. So these are basically the reason of the fault. So reason of the fault, and they are causing the short circuit condition in the power system. So in this chapter we are going to cover the symmetrical faults alone, and symmetrical fault refer to those conditions in which all the three phases of a power system are grounded at the same point. So symmetrical faults we are going to discuss, and this is basically the three line to ground faults. So wherever you will be having all the three lines and the ground and all will be sorted condition to the ground, then it is known as three line to ground fault, and it is basically a symmetrical fault, and that we are going to cover in this particular chapter. Thank you.